just something that I'd never shared in a public forum about my own parents. And you guys, if you think that you can't step away from the alcoholism, that it's the only way you can do it, I'm telling you, where there is a will, there is most definitely a way. Kevin, you went, I didn't share this, but I actually had to get off medication from after being hit with a car. And I had to get myself off of Oxycontin, got a hydrocodone, Percocets, Lortabs. I was on all of these things, and I had to get myself off. And I went and detoxed myself at home. And I can't imagine I've been doing that for years and years and years. And my stepfather actually had been drinking. Stepfather, before he was killed, drank just to get up in the morning, drank throughout the day, and drank to get himself to sleep. And if he can go cold turkey after doing that for decades, remember Vietnam was back in the 60s or early 70s, decades, you can do it as well. And Kevin, you've done it, correct?
Well, and I don't want to be cocky about it because I did it before. It lasted 7.5 years, and I found myself there again for another 2 years. I've done it so far today. Now, you mentioned cold turkey. If that works, it works. There are many different avenues to sobriety, kicking addiction. There are 12-step programs. Give it a try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, get away from it and go a different route. There's more than one answer. But the point I want to bring home is that the drugs and the alcohol is not the answer. That's the anti-answer. I've been blessed with a few people who truly love me and that have been sympathetic. I have a wonderful soulmate here in the Philippines, and Nicole pulled up my author's page on Facebook during the break, and first thing she said was, "Oh my God, she's beautiful."
You guys, hey, you don't know beauty until you look at his loved one. She is stunning.
Her name's Dearly, and she's beautiful, and you may
guys
say
have a
her back
2-year-old
there.
son
I
now.
I'm in the Philippines with 12-year-olds. She's almost 26 years old. Okay. We have a son that's 2 years old. They love me unconditionally. That has helped. I'm not going to push religion because I'm...
Kevin, are you there? Kevin, I think you may have accidentally hit mute. Are you there? Okay, you guys, we've been doing this via Skype, and looks like I've lost Kevin.
I'm back. Can you hear me now?
And he's back. Okay, phew. Because I was about to close this segment and try and get you back. You know, we gotta love technology, folks, because before this, 20 years ago, this would not have been possible just to pick up, or not even pick up a phone, but just hit a button on Skype and instantly we're talking over there. And so I'm really grateful that you're back, Kevin.
Yeah, hey, me too.
Yes,
no, sorry, I don't know what happened, but what I was saying is what's worked for me also is having a contact with a higher power. I call it God, and I'm not pushing religion or AA or any of that stuff here. And it's important for me to stay in contact with the higher power. And the ways I do it here is during the day I'll get up in the mornings. As a self-publishing writer, I've got 3 parts to my job. I've got to write, of course. I've got to read other people's work because I'm a follower of Stephen King's mantra that to be a good writer, you've got to read a lot and you've got to write a lot. So I try to write 1,000 words a day, and I read 2 to 3 novels a week. I've read nearly 60 books year to date. And then thirdly, I've got to market my own stuff. So a lot of you have probably seen my spams coming across on Facebook. That's how we met, actually, Nicole.
Yep.
But it works.
Yeah,
okay?
it did. And I called you up. What are you doing?
Exactly. So, but also at the end of that, I've got to take time for myself and connect with that higher power. And I love to jump on my mountain bike, ride out to the beach. I don't live on the beach, but I can get there in about 30 minutes. I'll bike up the beach or walk up the beach. I'll sit underneath the banana trees. You cannot sit under coconut trees. That's a myth because those coconuts will fall and they will kill you. I've seen so many people hospitalized here for sitting under coconut trees. But I'll sit under a banana tree or maybe a mango tree and watch the waves come in, and I'll pray. I'll pray, I'll meditate, call it what you want, and time goes by. And that's important because that keeps me based and it keeps me from getting angry. A big trigger for me for both the PTSD and the only hope I have at staying off of the substances is to control the anger. I cannot allow myself to get angry. And the beaches of the Philippines, the tropical climate, my beautiful soulmate, those do magic things for me as far as keeping me away from anger.
Yeah, you actually bring up something that's actually really close and dear to my own heart. Folks, you've heard me say it, and I'll say it again ad nauseum, so get used to it. It doesn't matter who you call God. I don't care about your religion. I could care less about your religion, but I do care about your personal faith. Because when you have faith in something, someone, some higher power, whatever you choose to call it, you give yourself permission to seek assistance from that higher power. Even if that higher power is you, for you, you're giving yourself permission to let go and just be. And by doing that, you're releasing stress, your body is relaxing, you are becoming more at one with yourself in that moment. And I personally, myself, I actually will, it doesn't matter where I am. I could be sitting on the John having a wonderful load released in a different way, and I will do that. I take every moment that I get. I will deep breathe, and folks, you've heard me talk about sacred space, and many of you have actually learned that during my retreats. I create my own secret space, and I can jump right into it whenever I need to, just to have that private moment. And it's so huge for me. As a matter of fact, when I was going and detoxing, that sacred space made it a lot easier to deal with the shakes and the creepy crawlies, as I call them, from getting off that stuff. And especially because I couldn't just jump up out of bed and go, because the body was not able to do that. But I'm really grateful for those sacred space. And Kevin, you are in a beautiful location to actually to do that. But you guys, you don't have to have a beautiful place. Close your eyes. Create it. And for those of you who still have difficulties closing your eyes and creating it because other things pop up, find a spot. Go to a pool and just sit there. Go to a puddle and sit there. Go sit on the toilet and poop. It doesn't matter. Find your space for you. Hey, come on, Kevin. You know there's relief there.
Yeah, that's some really good psychological advice there, to go take a big load. I like that. You can tell you were in the military, Nicole.
Hey, we say it like it is. So, but anyway, go ahead and continue. Continue. Especially when
that was pretty much the point I want to bring home. The easy way is to take that anti-answer, numb yourself with the drugs and the meds. And I'm not a psychiatrist. I'm not a licensed clinical social worker. I am not giving medical advice. I'm not qualified to do so. But from my own experiences, the medications that I was on that were meant to help me hurt me more than they helped me. They took me back to a place I've been before where I was not the same person I am today. I was a dirtbag, and my life, I don't want to live my life that way. So I've done what I had to do to get off the crack again. And it's easier for me to have the unpleasant memories at times and to feel bad at times than to not know what day of the week it is and to feel nothing at all. And that seems to be all those medications were doing for me. Now, I do have chronically inflamed lower lumbars in my back from the body armor on my back. And I was trying to live in cold regions in the U.S. I'd gone back to West Virginia, my native place, for a while, and I'd spent time in Washington State where it's kind of cold and rainy. And there were days that even on the medication, I couldn't get out of bed because of the pain, because of the climate. Well, here in the tropics of the Philippines, and I mentioned this in the author's afterword of the book, I can live relatively pain-free without that. I was an avid runner for 25 years. I ran track in high school and college, and I was good at it at one point. It was a way of life for me. I can't run anymore because of the discs in my back. But again, instead of giving up, and turning to the bottle or staying on the drugs, I turned to mountain biking, which I'd done in the past too, but now I just do more of it. I love to swim in the beach here. I'm in a location where I can live pain-free and bed-free, and for me, that's the only way to live. I'm not saying that I might not move to Florida someday, because I might. I might go back and forth again, but for now, this is what's working for me, and I want to give it a little more time to work before I start making changes. Because like it's been said, if it's not broke, don't try to fix it.
That is definitely true, and folks, this is what's working for him. I'm repeating that. Find what works for you, and it's not the same for every person. As much as I would love to live in the Philippines, that doesn't work for my family, because my husband's job is here, and we have the PTSD retreat here. Okay, I can do the PTSD retreat in Philippines. Yeah, I could definitely do that. Kevin, when you need me to come out and do a retreat, you let me know. But
you're welcome anytime. We've got a spare room. You're our welcome guest anytime you want to fly over.
Oh man, happiness.
Yeah, so you'll be here tomorrow, right?
What do you mean tomorrow? I'm already on the plane. But find what works for you, and make it work for you. If you don't like where you are, if you're not happy where you are, guess what? You have the power to change it. You are a very powerful individual. Nothing can hold you back, not even PTSD, but you. You are the only thing that can keep you from doing it. And if you've chosen to let someone else hold you back, guess what? You can change that as well. And Kevin's found something that worked for him. Wow, this 30 minutes went by so fast, Kevin.
Again.
Yeah, no kidding. You guys can find whatever works for you. And that goes for, if I'm going to tell you right now, my personal opinion, I'm not able to, I can give my personal opinion all I want, but for you, you get to find what works for you. And my personal opinion is that substance abuse, drugs, any of that, especially in conjunction with PTSD, does not work for you. It doesn't work for anybody, and it most certainly doesn't work for your loved ones who watch you through it. Or if they're not able to watch you through it, hey, you're kicking yourself out of your loved ones' lives. Choose differently. Choose the end to life. Choose to make a difference for yourself. Choose to change your world and make it better. And Kevin, again, thank you so much for doing this segment. I'm gonna, you guys, I'm gonna kidnap him and make him do it again. So,
wow.
Thank you guys for listening.
Nicole, thanks for having me, and I'd love to continue a conversation in English.
Anytime. Now tell me how to say, thank you in Tagalog. Or is it? No, it's not Tagalog. It's Cyan.
It's called Visayan, but you say thank you in Visayan and Tagalog in the same way. The languages are very closely related, and you say salamat.
Salamat.
S-A-L-A-M-A-T. Salamat.
Oh, salamat. Okay. So how do I say thank you for being here?
Say salamat ako deri.
Salamat ako gami, right?
Deri, like dairy, but you got to roll the tongue because their culture has a thick Spanish history.
Okay.
Salamat ako deri.
Okay, salamat ako deri. Like that?
Close enough. You'll get it when you get here tomorrow, as my guest. And then the way you would say you're welcome to all of this is you would say walay sa payan. In Visayan, walay sa payan. In Tagalog, their other language, you say walang anuman.
We'll stick with.
How about you're welcome?
You're welcome, exactly. And you guys, thank you so much for listening. This has been the PTSD Retreat Radio Talk Show. I'm Nicole Johnson Starr, and this has been Kevin Lake. And have a great evening.